Now that we have the Adani deal cancelled, we must ask ourselves, what are the legal repercussions that will be involved from the cancellation of this deal? Number one, before we find out what are the legal repercussions, we must ask ourselves, who is the Kenyan Adani face? This group was very powerful. Remember, Kenyans demonstrated. There was a time Kenyans threatened to occupy GACHAGUA. Kenyans have protested. Others have gone to court to seek legal actions. Everybody, civil society, Kenyans on social media, everybody has been against the Adani deal, but the government stayed put. In fact, the president and the former prime minister went ahead, to hold brief to give the Adanis a good bill of health, despite reports and media outlets out there saying how dangerous it is to work with the Adanis. But the government went ahead to work with them on GACHAGUA renovations and construction of new terminals and transmission lines. But now, let's start by identifying who is the Kenyan Adani face, because these people are very powerful. We can't be ranting for 5 months about the same thing, but the government has ignored to listen to us. In fact, they never acted out of listening to Kenyans. They acted because the US government flagged the Adanis. And you know the US is very strong and powerful. Once they focus on you, you would have maybe had the cases of even the president himself being denied visas to go to US. And I believe some of these big people in the government will be denied visas out of the Adani involvement. Now, who is this Adani face? You might be tempted to think the Adani face in Kenya is a Muhindi. You'll be wrong. The Adani face in this country is a person with nywele ngumu, more nywele ngumu than myself. A person who has more nywele ngumu than myself. It will not even be a Muhindi. It's a person very close to the organs of power. A person who is very close to the organs of power. That is the Adani face. And I don't want to mention names because I don't have a lawyer. But I believe he hails from Rift Valley. And he's acting on behalf of another very powerful person. And that powerful person is the one who cancelled the deal yesterday, out of his own interest, out of his own international image, to at least keep a good face out there internationally. So number one, Adani's had a Kenyan face. And this Kenyan face is very powerful, or is very close to very powerful people in this country. That's why, besides Kenyans ranting, the government went on. In fact, if you see Raila defending a company, just know that the company is very powerful. Raila is a high-priced defender. You can't sustain him. You can't pay him enough. So once you see Raila defending the Adanis, just know that the Kenyan face is very powerful, very, very, very rich. And your guess is as good as mine. Number two, it's out there, it's known. Those people who've been involved in business, including small tenders like the ones to supply cabbages in a school. Once you cancel the contract prematurely, there are some legal repercussions involved. First, they may involve you compensating the other party, or some other some other strings tied around the contracts that we don't know, because the Adani thing has been very shady from the beginning. So we don't know much about it. We don't know what was involved and what were the repercussions were we to cancel it prematurely, because they were to take the airport for 30 years. And so they didn't even start. So the repercussions is not 2 cents. And they will come for us. They will hit back. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but eventually the Kenyan face of Adani will get his money or her money back. They will go to court, they will go to international forums of justice, quote unquote justice, to have their money paid back. It happened in Pakistan. There was a Turkish firm that was involved in power transmission in Pakistan. And the Pakistan government had to pay penalties of 1.6 billion. That's approximately, if you the current dollar is exchanging with, I think, 130 something above today. So if you multiply 1.2 billion dollars, if you multiply that by 100 and something, that gives you close to 270 or more to 300 billions. And so Kenyans might dig from their pockets amount ranging from 200 to 300 billions because of cancellation of this Adani thing. So we won on one thing and we failed on the other thing, because these 300 billions will remain here in this country. It's not that this money will go to India. No, don't be fooled. This money will be here in this country because the Adani Kenyan face is here, and he will litigate. He can't let it go without a fight. He will fight with himself because he's the one who cancelled. Yeah. And so, in as much as we celebrate and we commend the whistleblower Nelson Amenya, Richard Onyonka, and everybody else who was involved in salvaging our airport and our transmission lines and our power company, we must also remember that we will still dig deeper to compensate the Adanis. Otherwise, our government might be blacklisted by international investors who would want maybe to come invest in Kenya, or who would want to come to Kenya to play even a clean deal. Yes, they might blacklist our government. They might not be interested to work with us anymore. Yes, in as much as we appreciate that something needs to be done about our airports. Other countries are building ultra modern airports. Yeah, yes, but we must use the right channels. We might work with the companies with the good repute. Yes, in fact, we have more than enough investors locally. I believe Kenya has enough companies with enough liquidity to build for us world-class terminals in Jomo Kenyatta without even borrowing money from these international companies with some shady reputations. Yeah. And I'm also like now giving out our international airport. That was a threat to national security. In fact, I don't know who advised the president, because the reputation of the Adanis is very open everywhere, from the Google to the YouTube to everywhere. Once you type Adani, you will see what they've been doing. So the president either needs to change himself, or change the people around him, change the director of NIS, change those people who do due diligence for him, change the ministers, the Murkomens, the Chilchils. And Chilchil, I think, is the face that I'm talking about, but story of another day. And I don't have a good team of lawyers. I'm a lawyer myself. So yes, we will have to pay the Adanis amount not less than 150 billions, amount ranging from 200 billions to 300 Kenyan shillings, to 300 billion Kenya shillings, because of cancellation. It's a procedure. It's a non-procedure. Those people who are involved in bidding and stuff, they will tell you that goes. It can't go without a penalty, because the Adanis were not unable to deliver what they had signed for. So it would have made sense if we allowed them to maybe fail, but they didn't fail, so they never even started. So what did we use? And one case in the United States, yeah, and another one in Kenya, we would have allowed the due process. Yes, in as much as I'm not siding with them, there must be some legal consequences. That is my point. And this will come at a cost to our Kenyan taxpayers. And this 300 billions or so that we shall be penalized will not go to India. It will not go to the Adanis that we are seeing on TV. It will go to somebody who is not very far from the State House Road. Yes. The person is either there visiting or resides there permanently, or is a friend of somebody who resides there. But the money will not leave this country because the representative, the choreographers of the entire things are right here with us. It's a win for our country, but we never had to go there. You know, this president has a habit of creating crisis and then solving it and appearing as if he's an angel. He didn't have to take us to the Adanis, so he's trying to take credit for removing us from the Adani. In fact, the Adanis were going all the way to our national health insurance services. Yeah, imagine, do we even have a country? Now the chief sheriff now yesterday was given a new name, Taifa. The same people who are involved in the Adanis, their names are the same people you will find in that chief sheriff thing. Yeah, we don't have a country, guys. I don't know how we shall reclaim this country, but at least we were able to salvage that. And thank you to the so-called partners or international agencies as well, because personally we were not listened to, no matter how much we tried to raise the voice, because Kenyans tried their best. They demonstrated, they picketed, they did everything, they wrote on their pages, but the airport workers striked. Everybody tried to stand with for the country, but we were not listened to until a foreign hand had to come through. And so we thank, in as much as we don't know the intention of this new foreign hand that worked in, at least we thank you for that, for saving our airport. Nevertheless, if the government is honest about improving the JKIA, there are so many companies who would do an honest job. We have companies here where, look at the banks, we have the equity groups and the cooperatives. These people have more than enough money. It wouldn't take them more than 2 years to renovate JKIA and to give it a complete new look. If at all we are honest, we have so many companies here with good repute. We can work with them, we can